In this video, it is the SkyRC little mini HeatVision camera here, testing this out to see can it give us some insights on RC drift tires, RC tires, motors, ESCs, that kind of thing. If you are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Troy. This is Roadside RC. You'll tend to find me bashing or crawling or drifting or racing plus doing product review videos and how-tos. Let's get started by getting this thing out of the box. I have a handy dandy little case. We have a whole set of instructions here, and then we have the thing itself. Look at how small and compact that little thing is. That is super tiny. Comes with this little tether, which is pretty cool. And what's interesting about it is this tether, I see a little chargy icon here. Check that out. It's a little loop, but your loop is a wire. Now that's pretty dang fancy. We have the camera on the front, we have the screen on the back, power button, and like taking kind of play button here. If we hold the button down, it takes a minute, but it will fire up. Screen's a little dark, a little hard to see if I'm honest. And there we go. It sees my hand. You can see the fingers of my hand. Hopefully you can see that there on the camera. There's a little sensor right in the middle that says my hand is, who would have thought, like 93, 94 degrees. We can see the car is 72, 73, which is kind of the temperature that we have here in the garage right now. If you take it and swipe down from the top, it gives you a couple different menu items that you can choose from. You can choose different color ranges. You can choose spot meter on it, what temperature units you want it to be, display, and if you want it to be auto powered off at all. Other important thing though really is down here under the advanced is emissivity and target distance. The emissivity, it's set for kind of a rubber from the beginning. Ceramics, cement, concrete, paint. It doesn't just tell you the emissivity number like 0.98 for human skin. It actually also gives you an idea of what it's used for, which is super useful. So if you're going to be doing a specific thing a lot, it's good to switch it over there so that you get more accurate readings. Then you can also set it for target distance. Like this one is currently set at 10 centimeters, but you have from 5 centimeters all the way up to 20 centimeters. Really, I think that's probably about all you'd have to do before you come out and give it a shot. As I have been doing some recent tests with different camber and tires and things like that on my RC drift car, I've actually been using this to kind of be able to visually see where the contact patch is and how the tires have been running and that kind of thing. So far, it's worked pretty well. I haven't been necessarily worried if the exact temperature degree that it's giving me is actually accurate, but just more like a variation. So I was able to see that like the outside of the tire where it wasn't really being used was in the 70s, and the inside was in the 80s, and I could kind of just see where, I could even visually see where kind of more of the hotter spots of the tire were. That was pretty cool. And I actually just recently got done driving the Jag here behind me, and you can even see with it. You can see the big hot spot where the motor is, and coming through the hood is at 100 degrees. We can see the tires are currently about 80 degrees. So I have found certainly some uses here, like for my RC stuff. What is the temperature of my motor? What is the temperature of my ESC? How are the temperatures of my tires as I'm trying to tune something? That is really awesome, and it is very telling. It gives some good information. As we noted, I actually have some plans. My son's been building this Miata over here, and I have some plans to use it as we go out for track days and stuff like that, monitoring brake temperatures, monitoring tire temperatures, seeing stuff like that about this car. Really handy dandy, sticks in the pocket, easy to use, can take a photo. Sweet, we'll be using it for stuff like that. And there's even some uses that I plan to have around the house. I used to occasionally borrow from my day job work a full, like massive, HeatVision camera, and I would check like my windows and stuff like that in the wintertime. I don't have to anymore. And what's intriguing about that is from kind of like a price standpoint. When I was doing that 10 plus years ago, I had this massive camera that cost many thousands of dollars in order to be able to do what this little thing right here does now. That's pretty wild. This one right now, not many thousands of dollars, actually in the $90-ish range, and I'll leave a link to it down in the video description to where you can go see what its current price is right now. And at first, I was kind of like, is 90, in 2026, is $90 or something like that for this, is that too much? But the truth is, if I wasn't gonna pick it up, what I would probably do is get one of those IR things that kind of plug into the bottom of your phone. You can see these things all over Amazon and places like that. And those are over $100. Those are like 120, 130. So they're like 30% more than this thing. So it's not a bad price, but I will say you'll probably notice one real noticeable thing with it at first, which is the image through which it is portrayed is pretty grainy. So you kind of have to know what you're looking at. And I'll give you an example. What I was noticing is that when I was looking at the motor, when I was looking at the battery, sometimes it was like you could tell that there was a warm spot there, but the image resolution on the camera was lacking a little bit, and that made it just a little tough to see exactly what I was looking at. One of the tips that I found is as I was looking at my tire, what I would do is put my fingers right here on either side of the tire, and it would give me a hot reference spot to let me know where the inside and the outside of the tires were. So some ability to point and see where the finger is, and then be able to measure somewhere near where the finger was, like if that's what you're looking at. That is what I found is a kind of a tip to make using this even easier. Then you have the ability to take a picture. So one snip up here at the top, you can actually have that image stored here on the little device itself. I have used this over multiple days, multiple tests, literally charged it up the first time, haven't touched it since, and it's still, if you can see it down here in the very corner, very full of battery. So I have not even had to try to charge it again ever since the beginning. And I guess it's just because small device, not using a lot of energy, it's not taking video, it's just taking still snapshots. So I guess it doesn't use a lot of battery. The battery in here is really good because it is stayed charged for, I'd say I've been using this for over a week and it's still in good shape. So what I'm personally gonna do is stick it back in its handy dandy little bag, and it's gonna go in my pit bag so that every time I go out somewhere and I wanna test something or someone at the track is having an issue, I'm gonna have it there with me. Pretty cool thing to have. Pretty cool thing to have around if you're always looking at tuning stuff. So like I said, if you were curious about this, then I hope this video was useful for you. If you want to see more about it, I'll have a link to it down in the video description where you can go check it out. If you have any more questions that I have not answered here in this video, please leave them down in the video comments and I'll be happy to engage with you there. And thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in an upcoming video. Goodbye.